Alright y'all, now normally I don't do this, but I'm about to spoil the shit out of this movie. So if you really want to see this movie, no matter what I say, probably turn this review off right now. Now the movie opens up with Vincent and Sean. They're going to do a job, just like you see in the trailer. The job goes wrong. Vincent's face gets seen. Next thing you know, the bad guys are after him. Now what you didn't know is that Vincent is an undercover cop. He's working with Sean. Hopefully he's going to bust his ass one day and work his way up in the ranks. Cut to Michelle Monaghan's character. She is internal affairs, and of course, it's her job to be a dick to all the other police officers. She gets called out to the crime scene the next day. Without really having any backstory to either one of these characters, she's got a chip on her shoulder and instantly thinks that Vincent is a bad dude. They have yet another cliched conversation where words are exchanged. They're trying to see who's got more brass than the other one. Then they go on about their day. Later down the line, Vincent gets a call from Gabrielle Union talking about, what the hell, you need to pick up your son, gotta take him to the game. We find out that Vincent doesn't know how to tell time. He's in a quick hurry, pick up his son. He's at the light, his son gets taken. He gets a phone call from the bad guys talking about, hey, you robbed the wrong fools, give him my drugs back or else your son is dead. Vincent's like, what the hell, don't even trip, I'm gonna give you all your stuff back. Now this is about the time when the movie completely lost me. I can give it a pass for the way that it started out, a little slow, definitely with no character development for anybody. But I like Jamie Foxx, I like Gabrielle Union, I like T.I., so I'm gonna rock with it. But where the movie lost me was that, look, I'm not a father, but if you take my son, you stab me in the side, I can't help him out, I'm gonna do a little bit more than be like, okay, I'm gonna get you your drugs back. He didn't have no real emotion. It seemed completely mailed in. Jamie Foxx is an Academy Award nominated, Academy Award winning actor. I expect more. And second, I understand that him and Gabrielle Union maybe are not on the best terms. They're not together right now. He's trying to maybe mend their relationship. But as she continues to call him as the day and even into the night goes on, he still has not told her what's actually happened. He keeps making up some kind of excuse like, oh, he's with some chick over here. Or, oh, we got in an argument so he dipped out. When she calls him on that crap and says, well, he didn't even make it to his game. His coach done called me. Dude, you are an undercover police officer. You're supposed to be a detective at the same time. You think you could come up with something a little bit better and a little bit more realistic. Come on, man. It's either lazy writing or just horrible acting because I'm not buying the shit. Another thing that I didn't like was that there were so many scenes in this movie that have been basically lifted right out of other movies and put into this one, but with no new creativity and no new dynamic. Look, we've all seen similar scenes in many of films. That's cool. I'm gonna give it a pass. But I like it when movies put a new little spin on it or a new little twist. They don't do any of that in this movie. Straight up, if you've seen The Dark Knight, and you had better have seen The Dark Knight, there is, when Harvey Two-Face puts a safety belt on and then shoots the driver, the exact same scene in this film. What the fuck? Come on, man. Now, with the fact that there was no character development throughout the entire film, there was one other thing that really took me out of the film. And that major thing was, I believe that there was a disconnect from the director to Jamie Foxx. Meaning to say that his character and his character's actions did not match. The movie opens up with him and T.I. chasing these bad guys through the streets of Las Vegas. They corner him in an alley. Blah-da-da, blah-da-da. They take all their drugs. He's basically a badass. He looks pretty ruthless, you know what I'm saying? But when his son gets taken and it's time for him to step up and be a man and do something about it, he acts like a scared little boy throughout the entire rest of the film. Nothing he says is intimidating. Nothing he says imposes any type of threat to the real villains of the movie. Now that's interesting to me. I say that because of the fact is if you saw him in Collateral, Jamie Foxx built his character from that movie from the ground up. He started out as a cab driver. He's got to drive Tom Cruise around. He's an assassin. And he actually steps up in portions of that movie and shows some heart. Dude, your son's life is on the line. And real quick, let me just mention his son. I'm not sure who this guy is that played his son, but he was garbage. He was trash. There were audible laughs in the theater in serious moments of the movie when his son would speak, when his son was in danger, when his son had to react to something. When you're in a movie, this is a drama, this is an action drama, thriller, whatever you want to call it, and the theater, not just me, not just the guy next to me, I'm talking about the theater is laughing at his son trying to be serious, or his son acting emotional, or trying to root his dad on in a fight or whatever. That's bad. That's really bad. That took me out of the movie quite a bit. Sleepless and other films like Sleepless are basically the antithesis to the idea that less is more. They start out with a simple plot, a simple idea, and then they try to spin it off in too many different directions, and it gets jumbled up and convoluted and makes no sense. The idea is if you keep this plot simple, maybe you can add an extra half hour. This movie was only like 90 minutes. Maybe you add an extra half hour with some character development, interesting character development. Next thing you know, you're so much more invested in these characters. I cared nothing for these characters, so nothing that was happening to them really mattered to me. Boil down the plot, give me some more character development, better dialogue, more realistic action, let these great actors do their job and act well on screen. We would have had a phenomenal film. Look guys, in the end of the day, I know I just sat here and told you a bunch of dislikes, but quite frankly, other than the fact that I do like the actors that were in this movie, there was nothing that I liked about this movie. It's quite forgettable. I cannot send you out to the theater in good conscience to watch this. Maybe catch it on Redbox, rent it on demand, whatever. I was expecting to at least have fun with this movie and see Jamie Foxx running all over Las Vegas talking about, "You motherfucker, give me back my son!" But we didn't get that. So in the end of the day, I hope you enjoyed this review / spoiler. Like, subscribe, I'm out.